So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of our season 4 here on F1 Manager 23. Now if you didn't watch the last episode, my word, where were you? Go back and watch that one because we had a fantastic race in Jeddah. We saw Lando Norris win the Grand Prix by 3.7 seconds in the end from Max Verstappen and George Russell. Pierre Gasly really unlucky with a pit stop and certainly deserved a little bit more, but still P4 wasn't a bad result on the day. All that meaning constructors standings wise, we are second, we are 12 points behind Red Bull Racing, and it must be said driver standings wise, Lando Norris only 7 behind Max Verstappen, Pierre Gasly in P4. It's Red Bull versus Andretti, and my word, I think we can possibly beat these guys this year. We have had a new chassis development which we are currently manufacturing. That's not going to be on for this race, but hopefully for Baku it should be on. That's going to give us a significant increase in performance as well, so we are excited for that at this moment in time. But this weekend we go to Melbourne, 58 laps around here. We did okay, I believe, here last year, although it's not going to show us. 58 laps around here. Car attributes, top speed, very good again, and high speed cornering. Another circuit that should suit us. Expected strategy is a one stop. You can try a two, of course, depending on how confident you are with pit stops, which at the moment we are not that confident at all. But all that being said, I'm going to get through practice and I'll see you in qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix. Final laps then in Q3, Lando Norris goals, provisional pole position. Pierre Gasly got held up a little bit on the first part of his lap. Pierre Gasly I don't think is going to improve, but it's all on Max Verstappen. Is Max Verstappen improving? That's going to be absolutely crucial. Gasly does finish P5 at this moment. Leclerc, Russell's down in P8 at the moment. What can they all do? We'll watch George Russell come up to the line and see where that Red Bull goes. Max Verstappen will be looking to put it on pole position, as will George Russell. But George Russell coming around the final corner, DRS wide open. Where does George Russell end up? Let's have a look as he comes up to the line. George Russell only good enough for P5, and as we fast forward on, Verstappen in P2, Lando Norris is on pole position for the Australian Grand Prix. Verstappen in P2, Perez, Bottas in P4. What a performance from Valtteri Bottas. Russell in P5, Gasly P6. Let's get to the strategy. Right then guys, strategy time. Now it's very, very interesting this track because the two stop and the one stop with the soft and the mediums apparently is the same time according to the strategy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the soft compound tyre, see how it goes, and then we'll decide during the race if we're going for the two stop or the one stop. I think Lando may be able to pull the one stop off from the lead of the Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly was a bit harder on his tyres in Jeddah, so I'm suggesting Pierre might need to go for the two stop. But either way, we'll play by P1, P6. Let's get to 5 red lights.
The fans here in Melbourne are all set, as are the drivers, heading into 58 laps around Albert Park. And for Lando Norris, this is another chance to see what he can do in this car.
They're on pole and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
And it looks like we're good to go. Brace yourselves for the Australian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
And away we go. Lando Norris looked like he got a very decent start indeed. Max Verstappen, it must be said, Checo Perez on the medium compounded tyre. If he could get Verstappen, that would be ideal. But Checo Perez looks like he's got the run on Verstappen. Lando Norris might be able to run away with this here if he really pushes on the ERS and the tyres. I would suggest Lando might be able to get away from the pack here. Pierre Gasly looks like he's lost a position off the line to Valtteri Bottas, which isn't ideal at all. Around him, he's got Russell on mediums. There's 3 medium runners and 3 soft compound runners. It's going to be very, very interesting how this strategy plays out. Look at this battle going off behind though. We've got Tsunoda, Ocon, and then Piastri, Porsche. There's some great racing early doors here. We've got a yellow flag on circuit. We've had a crash. Are we going to get a safety car? It doesn't look like we are. Let's have a look at who has gone off there. Piastri looks like the man who could be in trouble, and it is Oscar Piastri running in P11 on the soft compounded tyre. And let's have a look what happens here. He just gets tagged from behind, and that is not ideal. The Alfa Romeo Haas having some problems again early doors in this season, and Porsche and Piastri at the back. Lando Norris pushing on to try and break the toe of Max Verstappen. Lap 4, Lando Norris has broken the DRS of Max Verstappen. We are hoping for a little battle between Perez and Verstappen, but he can't quite catch him. But Lando Norris at the moment doing just enough to keep Verstappen out of DRS range. He has used all his battery. Pierre Gasly at the moment looking in a very different race, just sat in behind Valtteri Bottas. It might have to be the two-stop for Pierre Gasly today, but at this moment in time, managing things beautifully. Lap 4, Norris leads with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Verstappen in P2, Perez in P3. And Pierre Gasly wasn't satisfied being sat behind Valtteri Bottas, and he's managed to get the Mercedes driver into turn 1. Lovely move, and then he gets that extra helping of DRS, which has helped him, I believe, catch up to the back of George Russell in the Red Bulls. Remember, we are fighting the Red Bulls all the way this season. Pierre Gasly now tantalisingly close to Checo Perez, so he's very close indeed. Lando Norris 1.7 seconds gap to Verstappen, and he's matching his tyre wear at the moment. Oh, Pierre Gasly, he's doing Pierre Gasly things. He's just managed to get past Checo Perez, and now he's got George Russell in front of him. Lovely work again from Pierre Gasly, and now it's a fight with the Red Bull. Pierre Gasly, DRS wide open, gets the move finished on the McLaren driver, and now he's into P4, chasing down George Russell. Lando Norris, 2.6 seconds gap to Max Verstappen. We are now thinking it's going to be a one-stop for both cars at this moment in time. And I say he's doing Pierre Gasly things, and he's doing Pierre Gasly things again into turn 1. Same move as he just pulled off on Checo Perez, and then DRS to help him along as well. Pierre Gasly looks in supreme form this afternoon, and he could possibly catch Max Verstappen at this rate. Pierre Gasly looking incredibly quick at this moment in time. He's not even pushing on the tyres, is Pierre Gasly. 2.6 seconds back from Verstappen. Lando Norris at the moment is winning this at an absolute canter. Lap 13, George Russell coming back at Pierre Gasly. He got the DRS, Pierre Gasly hadn't, and the move that Pierre Gasly made on George Russell, he's now returned the favour. Medium compounded tyres starting to come to be the stronger compound at this moment in time. George Russell now up into P3. We'll have a full rundown on lap 13. Norris still leading by 3.1 seconds to Max Verstappen. Russell in P3, Gasly in P4, then comes Perez, Bottas, Tsunoda, Leclerc and Hamilton in P8 and 9, but Hamilton has not got the pace of Charles Leclerc in that Ferrari, it must be said. Maybe a sign of things to come next year. Esteban Ocon in P10, Lawson and Zhou, the two Williams, and we know we like this livery. And the Williams livery there, the BWT, running P10 and 11 and 12 at the moment. Albon in P13, Piastri all the way at the back in P20. Lap 18, Pierre Gasly starting to lose a couple of positions. The medium compound tyre is the tyre to be on now, and it must be said the McLaren looking incredibly strong, but Pierre Gasly, we're quite happy with where he is at the moment. If he can tag onto the back of these medium runners and then go onto the mediums at the end, we should be in for a nice stint towards the end. So Pierre Gasly, he is now in P5, but still very much in the fight, and Norris is just managing the gap to Verstappen. Lap 18. Lap 19, George Russell is into the pits off the medium compounded tyre. That's a very, very interesting one. And he's going onto the softs. That would suggest a two-stop for the Red Bull driver. Pierre Gasly has been told to get on with it now and try and catch up to Checo Perez. We are going for the one-stop today. I feel that's the way to go. And at this moment in time, that will suit us. Lap 20, Gasly being given the hurry-up. Norris again managing the gap. Valtteri Bottas has just had a spin, and we're getting very close to pit stop time, and Valtteri Bottas, as we can see here, into the final corner, just getting it all wrong. I'm saying he's getting it all wrong. We got the highlights of Valtteri Bottas' spin. He didn't. He got it all right. It's a fair play to Valtteri Bottas. We can see Verstappen now getting very close. Lando Norris should be in on the next lap, so we'll come back for that pit stop. Pierre Gasly will be in the lap after. As impressive as the first stint as you are likely to see, Lando Norris is into the pits. These tyres could not last any longer. Pierre Gasly will go through. Max Verstappen has pit at the same time. Now, will Verstappen go on to hards or mediums? That's the interesting thing here. We need a good pit stop from our guys, and we do get a good pit stop. 3.2 seconds. We will be pitting Pierre Gasly. Verstappen is onto mediums as well. So interesting, both cars going onto the medium compounded tyre. Now, where is Lando Norris going to filter out? I would expect Tsunoda is into the pits. We can see the Audi in front there. I believe, is that Valtteri Bottas? Says it's in the pit. I think we've got quite a broken thing happening there. Lando Norris is out in a nice bit of clean air there. And Ocon is in front of Verstappen. So that's absolutely crucial. Lando Norris can attack now Pierre Gasly in this lap. Box for Pierre Gasly now. Let's see where he comes out. Lando Norris is still chasing down Esteban Ocon at the moment, but Pierre Gasly is in to the pits, currently in P2 on track, but we will see very much where he will end up. He had a bad bit of luck in Jeddah. He's not had a bad bit of luck here. It's a sub 3-second pit stop for Pierre Gasly. I would expect him to come out possibly behind Verstappen. Russell is leading. Obviously, he's got to pit again, we would suggest. So Lando Norris at this moment in time just closing up to the back of Valtteri Bottas. He's got the tyres exactly where he wants them, and we need to be mindful now that we have got to manage these tyres. Pierre Gasly out in P8, 3.9 seconds to Verstappen. Just watch this move from Lando Norris on Charles Leclerc. He came from a long way back to get this move done. Lando Norris up into P3. He's putting cars between himself and Max Verstappen at this moment in time. And do you know what the best thing about it is? He's not stressing the tyres, Lando Norris, at this moment. We know what we've got to do here today. We've got to manage the tyre wear. Lando Norris at this moment in P3. He's got Russell and Perez in front of him. Perez yet to pit. Russell's got to pit again. Lando Norris looking in pristine form today. Pierre Gasly in P7, trying to catch up to the back of Verstappen. But again, we are managing the tyres effectively at this moment in time. Lando Norris, I think, has got this in the bag. We'll have a full rundown on lap 28. It's Perez from Russell, Norris in P3, Leclerc P4, Bottas, I think it's a little bit glitched at the moment, in P5, Verstappen P6, Gasly P7, then comes Albon, Lawson and Tsunoda in P10. Gasly has got Charles Leclerc, lovely move from Pierre Gasly, again not stressing his tyres. Now we're going to have more tyre wear chat in a minute because Pierre Gasly, lovely work from him, he's up into P5. We encountered George Russell with Lando Norris, which was the highlight that I was trying to get back for, and George Russell decided to hold us up a little bit, which wasn't ideal at all, so we're now just having to push Lando on for a little bit. He's got DRS as well to try and push away from Max Verstappen. We don't want George Russell to be towed along by us, and we certainly don't want Max Verstappen getting DRS as well. Now Lando Norris, as you can see, pushing on as much as he possibly can to get away from George Russell. I'm hoping he's just about broken the DRS from George Russell. Has he done that? Let's have a little look as George Russell's rear wing opened as we switch to the back of this Red Bull. It certainly has, but Lando Norris pushing on now, trying to break the gap to George Russell, and that is very, very crucial that he does that, that Lando Norris as well doesn't get caught up behind this car in front of him, which I believe now is that Valtteri Bottas, I believe? I think it is. So Valtteri Bottas really needs to get out of the way here. It's not Valtteri Bottas, it's Alexander Albon who should get out of the way, and does. Alexander Albon does get out of the way beautifully. Lando pushing on to extend the gap to Verstappen. Lap 37, George Russell in for his second pit stop. He's come out behind Checo Perez. Pierre Gasly might be under threats from these guys towards the end, so we are just conserving as much as we can with Pierre Gasly at the moment. Gap to Verstappen now is 1.5 seconds. It's getting very, very close indeed. We are going to push on a little bit, but Verstappen's tyres wear as well. He's calmed his tyre wear down. His teammate has done him an absolute solid. Lap 37, gap to Verstappen is something we need to extend. Lap 41, Checo Perez is flying at this moment in time. We're currently P1 and P3. We are still not giving Max Verstappen a sniff of getting DRS. It is a dead heat on tyre wear, but Pierre Gasly has got a very, very fast McLaren behind him at this moment. Verstappen can see Lando Norris on lap 41, but he just can't quite catch him at this moment in time. Bottas is trundling round. Valtteri Bottas has got a puncture, and this is not looking good at all for Valtteri Bottas. On lap 41, I think it's about to be job done. He has definitely glitched out here today, Valtteri Bottas, and it's not looking good for the flying fin or the very slow fin at this moment in time. But Lando Norris doing his utmost at the moment just to manage the gap to Verstappen. Lap 42, 16 to go. We have got a full core safety car, and both Andretti Cadillacs are going to be pitting. Now, what's very interesting about this is Lando Norris had already gone past the pit entry, but Pierre Gasly is coming in for a set of fresh, soft, compound tyres. Now, this is absolutely crucial because we could be in a really strong position towards the end of this Grand Prix if this goes right. Pierre Gasly's in. Is it a decent stop? It certainly looks to be a little bit. No, it isn't. It's 4.9 seconds. Pierre Gasly is not getting the look of the draw with these pit stops, and it's allowed Checo Perez to jump in, but Lando Norris now trundling around will come back when he's into the pits. And into the pits comes both Verstappen and Norris. Let's hope that our pit guys have not going to cause any more problems here. Lando Norris, is he going to get held? Oh, he is, and Max Verstappen, having the better pit box, manages to get out in front of us. And now Max Verstappen, he's gone on to mediums. Very interesting indeed. We're on the soft compound tyre. I would suggest we can get Verstappen pretty quickly. So Gasly is on soft and Verstappen on mediums. This is going to be very interesting. Fresh mediums place fresh softs. Very interesting. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have got an 11-lap sprint here. The tyre situation is as follows. Verstappen's on mediums, Norris is on soft, Russell on used mediums, Perez on used softs, Gasly on fresh softs. We are back to green flag running. Lando Norris, he's going to fancy his chances here. He has got the best tyres out of everyone at the front of the grid at the moment. Pierre Gasly will be fancying a podium as well. It's going to be so interesting here. We have got 10 laps to go. Verstappen leads from Norris, but it's going to be very, very close indeed. New fastest lap of the Grand Prix, Lando Norris. He's behind Max Verstappen. He's closing all the time. He will get past once DRS is enabled. We've already dropped George Russell and Pierre Gasly. He's going to want to start making moves quickly here because he can get past Perez. He will be able to get past these two. I fancy a double podium once again today. But Lando Norris is all over the back of this Red Bull. And as soon as DRS is open, we are going to attack like you've never seen. We will have a full rundown. It's Verstappen from Norris, Russell in P3, then comes Perez, Gasly, Tsunoda, Leclerc in P7, Hamilton P8, then comes Ocon and Zhou in P10. Just the one retirement so far, and that is Valtteri Bottas. Lap 53, Lando Norris has got Max Verstappen finally. Second helping of DRS, managing to get the job done. Didn't show Verstappen possibly a lot of respect there, but managed to get the job done. Now it's whether Lando Norris can push away. He's still got ERS, which we're hoping to use, but Lando Norris now trying to run for the hills. Gasly is into P4. He's now attacking George Russell in the second Red Bull. He's been charging up ERS for the last bit, and he's all over the back of the Red Bull now. So it's fair play to Pierre Gasly. He wants a podium today, but Lando Norris has just got to manage this now with Max Verstappen.
What happened?
George Russell has lost the place to Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly is on to the podium. Lovely work from Pierre Gasly. We've been aggressive with the Red Bulls today, and Pierre Gasly has got the job done on the Red Bull of George Russell. Fantastic work from him. At the moment, Lando Norris is doing enough. I'm aware of the tyre wear at this moment in time, but Lando Norris doing just enough at this moment in time to back up Max Verstappen. It's all going okay at the moment. We are going to start charging a little bit of ERS up as well, but with 2 laps to go, Lando Norris still leads. Here we are then, ladies and gents. Final lap of the Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly is fighting George Russell. Lando Norris is fighting Max Verstappen. He's got a few DRS zones that he's got to negotiate, this being one of them. And Lando Norris at the moment is doing just enough to be able to hold on to positions. Is he going to be able to fend off Max Verstappen for the rest of this lap? It's going to be so close at this moment in time. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly is doing the exact same to his teammate, but Lando Norris got through one DRS zone. Can he possibly get through another couple on this final lap? He's got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well, has Lando Norris at this moment in time. Everything at the moment is going so well for Lando. Can he possibly keep Max Verstappen behind on the final lap here in Albert Park and make it 2 successive wins for Andretti Cadillac? Pierre Gasly looks like he's done enough. He's got George Russell in the bag, but it's all about Lando Norris now. Can he defend and continue defending from Max Verstappen? We will ride on board with Verstappen as we come in towards Sector 3. Lando Norris is driving left and right here, making sure he can defend from this Red Bull. And my word, he has just got a couple more corners and a short start-finish straight to make sure that he doesn't get caught by the Red Bull. Pierre Gasly's done enough. He's going to get P3 today, but it's all eyes on this run to the line. Lando Norris round the final corner. Is he going to manage to get the win here? Max Verstappen looking for the overtake, but he's not going to get it. Lando Norris wins in Australia, and Pierre Gasly is in P3. What a race from Lando Norris. We have beaten the Red Bulls again. And let's just watch this because we deserve every little bit of this. Lando Norris, superb work from the British driver. That's 2 races from 3 that Lando Norris has won. It's 2 races from 3 that Andretti Cadillac's won. And if Red Bull weren't in a fight for the other seasons, they are in a fight for this one. Let's get to the podium.
What a remarkable drive by Lando Norris today.
That was a really well-executed race, I thought. Major credit to the driver, the pit wall, and the whole team for that win.
And you love to see this. The whole team celebrating this magnificent result. Lando Norris certainly loves the podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
There's further delight for the team as they get to see both drivers up there together.
What a moment for Andretti Cadillac. You can see the team celebrations there, how much we are in this fight, and everybody's got the belief that we can take this to Red Bull this season. Please let me know down in the comments if you think we can. But Lando Norris wins with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Max Verstappen in P2, Pierre Gasly in P3, then came Russell, Perez in P5. The McLarens are still very strong. Leclerc in P6, Tsunoda P7, Lewis Hamilton up to P8, and then came Ocon and Piastri in P10. It was a bad day for Valtteri Bottas, but look on the positive side for Hugo Boss. They didn't finish last. Drivers' Championship-wise, Lando Norris takes the lead. 64 points now for Lando Norris. 2 points ahead of Max Verstappen, George Russell in P3 and Pierre Gasly in P4. Towards the bottom, there's a fair few drivers still not managing to register a point, including the returning Kimi Raikkonen. Constructor standings-wise, we go top. I'm guessing that's on race wins. 107 points apiece between Andretti and Red Bull. Ladies and gentlemen, we kick off a new week and we are very much in the fight. Please let me know down in the comments, can we actually do this and win both titles this year? Maybe just the one, who knows? Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra!